So welcome everybody. I'm Mrs. Francis, and I just wanted to start off by just introducing myself a little bit. I won't go. I'll give you the two minutes and under version, just so you know. I originally did not start out as a teacher. I started out as a computer programmer for AT&T. So I had a math and computer science degree at the University of Scranton, and when I graduated, I went to a Rutgers job fair, and I walked up to the person who was representing AT&T, and I said, "Do you need anybody in math or computer science?" And he said yes. And I got interviewed, and the next day I took a multiple choice test, and I ended up in a pass-fire program with AT&T. 3 months to get trained and learn COBOL and take a big test, and if you passed, you went on the floor with AT&T. So I passed. I met my husband, and and I started my life out working as a computer programmer and then a project manager. So I have some real life experience doing this. So I'm especially enthusiastic about teaching this class. And I'm a math teacher here. I've been teaching here this is my 16th year. So very much love that. And by the way, I give extra math help is also included if you're here. In order, anytime you need extra math help, I do double duty during the coding class. All right, so that's just a little bit about me I wanted to share. The main objective of this class, and this is a very different kind of class than if you've had me before in class or you have me now, it's much more of a structured environment. This type of class is very self-paced. It's very much like you're going to get out of this class what you put into it. The main objective, though, is really to just expose you to coding and just see if this is something not only do you have an aptitude for, but do you enjoy it? Do you see yourself doing it? I can tell you from experience that if you like kind of going into your own world and your own zone and that kind of thing appeals to you, you're not so much like extroverted, you're a little more introverted, which I am. I think coding is a really nice field. It's very much like, you get into a zone like you would any other kind of craft, like if you're sewing or you're a painter or a musician. It's a very, you get into your kind of own world when you're writing code, and you'll see how that happens in this class. So it's very self-paced. I think what you're going to really like about it too is there's not a lot of time that you're going to be on a meet in this class, okay? Sometimes we'll get on a meet, we'll have a little bit of discussion, but not very often, which I think is a nice break from all the other classes. Now, just to be very clear though, I am always on the meet. I am on the meet from the time the bell rings to the time the period ends. So if you ever have a question or you want to get on and just talk to me about something, I am always just on the meet. It's just on, and I have my computer going with that every class period. Otherwise, you can also communicate with me through GoGuardian. I have my email going, and that's also another form of communication. So generally speaking, what you're going to be doing is working on coding projects. We start off in code.org, and we do some block coding there where you start to get the hang of it. So what's really coding all about? It's a lot of if then else statements. It's like, if you want to do this, if this happens, then do this. Otherwise, then do this. So you're going to learn how to think logically, how to write a program. That's code.org. When code.org is done, actually I can bring this up on our classroom here. First thing you're going to do is obviously follow directions here. You're going to do the setup checklist. There's a student info form I'm going to give you a grade for. By the way, grades they're categorical. 80% projects, 20% class participation. All right, so that might mean that I'm watching your screen and I nudge you and you don't respond to me the whole class period. So what do? I put a grade in class participation. Everybody gets 100 except, maybe Connor over here was sleeping during the class, so he gets a 0. Okay, so there'll be class participation grades, and then there'll be the project grades. So first thing, as I said, is going to be code.org. Once you're complete with that, You would move on to Scratch, and there's a bunch of assignments to do here. And then hopefully by the end of the semester, you get to Java if you really like it. Now I have some people that don't ever get to Java. They're not really programmers. They struggle kind of a lot, and they just get really the bare essentials done. They don't quite make it to Java. I have other people that just, they have such an aptitude. They get to Java. They're asking for more. They're writing their own web page by the end of the course. So it's really going to be driven by you. All right. So the other thing we might do occasionally too, just so that you guys get some exposure to the different types of computer science topics. We'll maybe watch a video about robots doing surgery. The videos are never more than 5 to 10 minutes long. And then you may write a little bit of a reflection, answer some questions about, what your feeling is about robots doing surgery, or what you feel about after you watch the video and learn something. How do you feel about self-driving cars? Things like that. So I think very interesting. I try to keep it, very light, very fun. You have to try hard to not get an A or an A+ in this course. Like, you actually have to try not to do well, because I'm really, going to be very flexible, and it's really just supposed to be a fun course for everybody. So primarily everything is going to be on the Google Classroom, and then there are some resources. I pretty much double posted everything on PowerSchool Learning. We are going to do a couple of lessons. We're going to have a lesson on binary, just so you understand, the machine code of programming. And also we're going to do a lesson on encryption, which is really cool, which if you saw the movie, The Imitation Game, we do a little bit of understanding how to encrypt messages or how to decrypt messages. That's pretty fun. So let's see. I think that's everything I have. I'm just really curious to see what kind of questions you guys have. I'm going to stop presenting here just so I can see you better. So it's good to see everybody. Is this sort of like what you were thinking? Do you guys have any questions? What are your thoughts? So what we're going to do is you're going to go to our Google Classroom, all right? You are going to go back to that first assignment on the classwork tab, and you're just going to start following the instructions, all right? Then you're going to sign up for code.org, and just so you know, it might take you 2 to 3 days to do code.org, or 2 weeks. The maximum it should take is about 2 weeks, but that's where we're going to start off, just so you start getting your feet wet. And I will be on the Meet, as I said, the entire period, every period, or accessible via the chat on GoGuardian if you need it. Okay, so you're going to go off the Meet. I'm going to watch your screens on GoGuardian, and you're going to start working through at the top of the page on the classwork tab for our class.